Why is Vanguard spreading misinformation? Where is that Obama? No, Biden. Who is that Biden chick? You know, the freaking Mary Poppins lady, the disinformation. Let's see. Was she? Who was that chick? Mary something. Let's take. Yeah, this crazy lady, Nina Jankowicz, the head of the now defunct Disinformation Governance Board. They say Trump is the freaking fascist. It's crazy. This chick is crazy, man. Can you imagine? Oh, look at her. No, we don't want you anywhere near me, man. A double major in Russian political science. Oh, wow. For the record, we got this crazy chick from Australia who's an American. Australian censorship czar called out for spreading misinformation. These people are crazy. Crazy. Anyway, so we need those people back to deal with what Vanguard is saying here. Because what Vanguard says is, since the 1970s, real wage growth has been modest, averaging just 0.35% annually from 1979 to 2022. And I've said this a million times on this channel about how real wage growth hasn't done as well for most people as relative to the promises of free trade and massive immigration. We've been sold a bill of goods by the freaking monetarists, dude, by the neocons. And maybe call them neoliberals too. I don't know, whatever you want to call them. But free trade and free immigration, it's going to set the world on fire with economic prowess and growth. It just hasn't. But anyway, be it as it may, there you go. So 0.35% has been the annual wages from 1979 to 2022. While the cost of living, as measured by CPA, has risen by an average of 3.3% a year. So I hope you see where we're going here, because that right there. At the same time, household debt levels have increased, further straining financial flexibility. As a result, everyday life has become less affordable, making it harder for many Americans to build sufficient retirement savings and widening the gap in retirement readiness. So, just come on, people. Look at these. Who wrote this? These guys right here. Come on, man. Just pull your head out of your freaking behinds, people. Real wages, my friends. What does real wages mean? Above CPI. So 0.35% real already takes CPI in account. That means our real wages grew above the rate of inflation. Not by much. Not by the promises made by the neocons or neolibs or whatever, by the freaking establishment, but they have grown above CPI. That's just a fact. That's why they call it real wages. Part two of this, which cracks me up, is right here. At the same time, household debt levels have increased, further straining financial flexibility. As a result, everyday life has become less affordable. Only a freaking fool would say that, dude. I'm sorry. Only a fool would say that. Are you telling me your everyday life is less affordable now than what it was in the 70s? Are you freaking insane? In fact, we even got that right here. We're going to look at the Fed. All right, so right here, this goes back to 1980. This is the household debt service is a percentage of disposable personal income. All right, let's take a look. What's disposable personal income? Here's from the BLS. Disposable personal income is the after-tax income. The amount that U.S. residents have left to spend or save after paying taxes, all right? It's personal income minus personal taxes. All right, so that's disposable personal income. So now we come back here and we say, here's our household debt service as a percent of disposable personal income. Again, this is after taxes. And right there, we're down to what we were in right there, 1985. We're just a little bit higher of what we were in 1980. Now, we're not nearly as high as what we were here. And this is right here. Look at that. Q2 2025. Our disposable personal income is as low as it's been other than the pandemic. Right there. In 1998, it was lower. A little bit lower, but still, you can see way low relative to where it's been. So the idea that Vanguard is sitting there saying, what the hell does Vanguard say? It's making, as every day for life for Americans has become less affordable. It's so freaking stupid. Right here. Real disposable personal income. Again, real is net of inflation. Disposable personal income is after taxes. You can see right here. Real disposable personal income in 1959 was $2,300, and now it's freaking $18,000. That's real. That's after inflation. You want to do it per capita, i.e. per head? It was in 1959, it was $13,000. Now it's $52,000. That's real right there. Real means after inflation and taxes. Point being, this is just an idiotic thing for Vanguard to promote, and it's stupid because it's not more expensive now than it was. It's just not. And how we know this too, if you look at what CPI was consisting of, and I talk about in my book here. One of my books I got here. Where is it? One of my books I got here. But I talk about my most recent book I published like a year and a half ago. What the hell is it, man? Right there, Relax and Retire. And if you haven't bought it, you're RONG. What we spend our money on now is a whole lot more geared towards entertainment and what we'd call luxury products than it was back in the 70s, which is housing, heating oil, and things of this nature, electricity. We spend more per our, that's why CPI is such a weird thing, because first of all, we got OER, owner's equivalent rent, which is stupid. But anyway, at the end of the day, just go through history and see what people were spending on the products. Food, clothing, and housing were the primary thing. Entertainment, nothing. Healthcare was low. Now, healthcare is higher. Good job, government, making it affordable. Thanks, Obama. But it's not, it's just we are spending more on luxuries relative to what we were in the 1970s and less on other things, food in particular and clothing, absolutely. Food and clothing are no longer in the top three. Food's transportation is number 2, housing is number 1, maybe food's number in there. Anyway, maybe, either way. At the end of the day, though, relative to our income, what we're spending our money on would make somebody in the 1970s dream. Like, what? You're spending that little on food and clothing? Yes. I said, damn. And then you say, well, I'm spending so much more on housing. They're like, yeah, but look at the house you got there, guy. Yeah, I know. It's much bigger. It's 50% bigger than what you had in the 1970s. Because it is. And you have 50% less family size than what you had in the 1970s. Because we do. Right. So come on, Vanguard. Let's stop this stuff. All right. I'm going to send Nita Jankowicz on you, Vanguard. I'm going to sick her on you. God bless. We'll see you.